So we're back. The score is actually 38-23, Trinity leading TLU.
Again, we don't have exactly the best visual access to the scoreboard, but we will do our best now that we have a confirmed score to give you an accurate running count throughout the entire contest.
Monster block from Zach Lambert.
As we pick up action, it's TLU starting with the offensive possession as this pass sails into the backcourt, but no violation there, no problem. As Richardson kicks it to Troy Griffith and then flips over to Wilkins. Now Richardson in the far left corner. There's Thomas Verm now feeds a cutting Wilkins who takes a jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Will Young. So Trinity just, if you're looking for a game plan here in the second half, it's just going to be the ability to use up as much of the shot clock as possible while maintaining this lead as best they can. That shot from Will Young, no good. Rebounded by TLU as they're looking to push the pace. Wilkins goes a foul.
Wilkins is leading the way for TLU at this point. Good take for him. Try to get to the line. Cut a little bit into that deficit.
Well, we mentioned earlier in the first half that TLU was either going to live or die by the three-point shot, and statistically speaking, 2 of 11 of 18%. Not exactly the way to go if you want to try and move deeper into this conference tournament, as that first free throw is no good for Garrett Wilkins.
Also now putting them below 50% on free throws. It's certainly not going to get it done.
Wilkins' second attempt. The junior out of Austin, Texas is good. And that makes it a 14-point deficit now. So Trinity looking to respond now as Will Young will set up the offense. Zach Lambert looking, sees nothing, gives it back to Will Young. Now Kitzinger. Beautiful fake there from Lambert as he takes an elbow jumper, no good, but down to Trinity. So he'll get another possession.
Lambert's been shut out of this, or he hasn't been shut out, but he's definitely been held to a little bit less than he's used to. Let's see if he can hopefully get going.
Lambert there drove hard to the basket. A reach-in foul on the floor, so a side out for the Tigers. And Trinity was 2 for 2 out of inbounds plays with 2 layups. Instead, they do a quick pass to Lambert for 3.
Finally gets one to go. Great sign for the Trinity Tigers.
Trinity just connecting on these set plays beautifully. As Richardson gets it back from Verm. Now Wilkins drives a little jump stop. It was low off the feet of Thomas Verm. Another turnover for TLU. And Trinity will take over. Will Young has it here on the near side. Feeds it into Selling. His pass was deflected. Oh, it's from Will Young. Lambert. What a play. You don't even need words to describe how good it was.
No, it seemed like Will Young was probably going to lose the ball, but he ends up getting Lambert wide open for a three-pointer, and that's exactly what he does best, get people open and involved.
So now it's Troy Griffith atop the three-point line, feeds it into Wilkins, who floats it up with the left hand, no good. A strong rebound, Thomas Verm. Exactly what TLU needed in a response.
No, those are Verm's first points of the game. He hasn't done much so far.
Lambert feeds it to Matt Selling. That shot won't count though, as there's a foul on the floor. I believe that's the third personal here on TLU to start the half. Will Young feeds to Robert Kitzinger in the corner, and they'll just set up the offense. Trinity leading 44-26 with 17 minutes remaining in the game. As Rob Kitzinger takes a long, that one's no good. And Dante McGee will just let that bounce out of bounds. So
Kitts has really led the way for Trinity thus far with 10 points and 5 rebounds.
Joseph Richardson now has it for TLU. She gives it to Garrett Wilkins. Now it's Dante McGee in the low block. A powerful move. Well, they're going to say there was a foul on the drive.
You know, if I was TLU, I'd probably get McGee a little more involved. He's been really effective from 15 feet in thus far. And that's exactly what they try to do.
Inbounds pass goes to McGee where he's picked up by Lambert. But now it's Wyatt kicking it out to Richardson. Back to Wyatt for three. That's good. And the ball is out of bounds, maybe.
It's going to be TLU ball. Great hustle by McGee. Lambert definitely had possession, but McGee just dove in there and mixed things up a little bit.
So Watson Jr. to inbound now for TLU. As Richardson takes the inbounds pass, gives it to Koromidis, who feeds McGee in the low block. He was actually rejected from selling, but he's going to be called for the foul.
And that would have been Selling's second block in the game, which is quite a bit for a shooting guard like him.
A couple of tough breaks for the Tigers on defense. It was first Jimmy Clark in the first half. Looked like he had a block that was called for a foul. This one maybe just a little too much body, but it was close. As Watson Jr. misses the first free throw.
So as we said before, TLU really struggling from the line. They could probably cut this lead or that deficit in half. They would have made some of those free throws.
As another free throw is missed, so more missed opportunities for TLU. Something they can't afford to waste here in the second half. Will Young hits a cutting Zach Lambert. A jump shot, he's hit as he's in the air, so he'll draw a couple of free throws. That's just a savvy move from the senior guard.
You know, he's been out for so long, so it's kind of hard to remember, but he's really at his best when he's in the mid-range area, pulling up, getting people off balance. And of course, you remember a couple years ago when he went down with that foot injury at the end of conference.
That was a real killer for the Tigers' playoff run. So it's good to see him back and healthy, especially this time of the year. As the first free throw is good, we'll have substitutions. John Levanway checks back in for the Tigers in place of number 32, Jonathan Wild.
And I'll tell you, when you see Zach Lambert at the line, he's nearly automatic. And luckily, I do not jinx him there.
No broadcasters jinx there, my friend. TLU looking to counter. There's Wilkins. He's another turnover. He's picked up that traveling violation.
Yeah, maybe trying to do a little bit too much there, but you can't blame him. He's certainly the star of that team.
Brad Hopper checking back in for the Tigers in place of Zach Lambert, so he'll get a much-needed break. Will Young. Now it's Robert Kitzinger, who finds Selling, and will call a foul as he caught this up high. So just an unforced error there for the Tigers.
Coach Shanahan does not look happy with what Will Young did there. Puts in Craig Saltarelli.
Now it's TLU looking to counter off the turnover. A no-look pass there from Richardson, and Watson Jr. fading away, almost put in the bucket, but instead he'll go to the free throw line and try and redeem himself after a couple of missed earlier free throws. Robert Watson Jr., the sophomore guard out of Corpus Christi, is able to convert on his first free throw attempt.
He finally gets his first one to go after being 0 for 4.
Second free throw attempt on its way.
And he misses. But they get the rebound, swing it to McGee.
And now it's Cormitis. Over to Richardson, back to Cormitis. And Wilkins, he'll take a long two. That one is short from Dante McGee. And then a fall here who scored. Was tough. They say he was, so count the basket.
Yeah, really crucial offensive rebound that TLU got there. Really took the breath out of Trinity and allowed them to get a potential three-point play.
So Watson Jr. will go back to the line and shoot another free throw. As Trinity leads 46-29, make that 46-30 here with 15:11 remaining in the second half. So a little momentum now starting as Watson Jr. is going to be called for the foul against Matt Hopper.
Yeah, he gambled there a little bit, but you know, at this position in the game, down 16, probably not a bad idea to try to get something going.
Absolutely. You know, if you're Tommy Jones here, you tell TLU to just try and be patient, maybe cut this deficit to 10 with 6 or 7 minutes remaining, and you'd be in pretty good position given what they've been doing here, especially in the first half.
Yeah, you really got to take it one possession at a time. You can't look at it as that big of a deficit. Just kind of hit away at it a little bit by a little.
Well, I remember hearing this interview Mark Cuban was talking about when they were playing the Miami Heat, the Dallas Mavericks, in that NBA Finals. He said the last thing you want to do is play hero ball when you're down in a big game. As Saltarelli will try a three and scores there. His second three-pointer of the contest. So
he's hitting his threes today.
And you mentioned before Wilkins, the star of this TLU team. I think the thing you want to avoid is just doing too much, you know, trying to play that style of hero ball.
Exactly. You got to draw the line somewhere, and that's really the coach's decision. But it seems like Wilkins isn't too opposed to firing up some shots.
So after the turnover now, Trinity will take over on offense as Saltarelli has it on the far side.
And he's 2 for 2 from 3 so far.
Kitzinger, he'll pull up a three. That one is just off the back, rebounded by White, and he's going to push the tempo. Gives it to Kendall Holmes. Now Cormitis, he's driving to his right. Gets it back. And he looked to feed Wilkins in the post, but it's intercepted 2-on-1 for the Tigers as Salt goes up.
Oh, man, I think he was fouled there, but it doesn't look like it matters. Kitzinger picks up the rebound, puts it back in.
Heads-up play there from Kitzinger to trail the play. But, yeah, it definitely looked like there was some contact underneath the basket. Wilkins feeds Dante McGee. Over to Cormitis.
Yeah, he's 0 for 5 from 3 at this point, so he's probably a little reluctant to shoot, but he gets the foul there.
And noticeably frustrated as much as the TLU offense has been. So we'll have a substitution now for TLU as Thomas Verne checks back in. Pretty young team TLU is, as looks like they have no seniors on their squad. But a lot of guys playing now in their junior season, so next year will hopefully be a big year for TLU.
Yeah, Watson as a sophomore has really brought a lot of energy. You know, I didn't hear much about him before this, but he's really set the pace for the game.
Absolutely. More substitutions now as Shotland, Lambert, and I believe Matt Hopper check back into the game for Trinity. So obviously a disappointing conference record for TLU. I think the number was something like 3-9, but certainly there's a lot of improvement, and I think they're going to see a huge improvement next season.
Yeah, and you'll see that with young teams. They really just have to remember they have a lot of areas to grow in. If they work together, they can probably achieve that.
Shotland facing a lot of pressure from Alderman. And now it's Saltarelli. Oh, easy ball. There's a good connection between Salt and senior guard.
Yeah, he's really great at passing out of the pick and roll. Underrated aspect of his game.
Garrett Wilkins now driving to his left, hands it off to Watson Jr. Alderman's open in the corner, but Holmes looks like he can't get it to him until now. Alderman.
Yeah. Craig Saltarelli with the reach. A little too excited there.
Coach Cunningham not happy with that foul. I think the word of choice he used was idiotic. Not sure if I can disagree there. You don't want to commit that kind of foul, especially with his back to the basket.
No, but with the way he's shooting and passing the ball, would you even take him out at this point?
It's tough. That's tough to tell. I'm glad I'm not the coach.
Yeah.
So it looks like with that foul, Trinity already, TLU already this with well over 12 and a half minutes remaining in the game. So TLU is going to need to look to be aggressive and try and get back to the charity stripe.
Yeah, and hopefully make some of those free throws.
Lambert now, he'll take a long two. That's
great tip back by John Levanway.
Shot. That one is no good, but by Salt. And then it's pulled and deflects off of Kendall Holmes. So you're definitely starting to see TLU pick up the intensity on the defensive end.
Certainly.
Substitutions now. Jimmy Clark checks in for Trinity as Dante McGee checks back in for TLU. As Thomas Verne will head back to the bench. Saltarelli floats it into Shotland. And that pass is intercepted.
Yeah, lazy pass by Shotland.
Griffith now. Over to Alderman. Alderman feeds it into McGee. A power ejected by.
Levanway is fouled.
It looked like a bit of a frustration foul there for Dante McGee.
Yeah, he really got where he wanted to be and then just couldn't end up going up with it. Too big of players for Trinity University.
53-32, Trinity leading over TLU here with 12:09 remaining in the game. Trinity opened the game with a pretty significant run in the first half, and it's been somewhat back and forth since. Saltarelli now feeds Zach Lambert, working hard in the post. And Saltarelli kicks the shot, finds Lambert. He had Clark open, but instead tried Vanway. And that one, they say, last touch by. Yeah. So it'll be TLU basketball.
Really a risky pass in that situation. Probably not what they wanted to get out of that possession.
Josh Alderman, a quick pass into Verne. Two very risky passes as Alderman tried to go up and under, no good. And it's just taken away by Trinity as Jimmy Clark will bring the ball up now.
Yeah, as you said before, it definitely looks like he's trying to play a little bit too much a hero ball.
Lambert once again working hard. He's backing down, spins, floats it up. Good, but Jimmy Clark gets the rebound and is fouled on his follow-up attempt, so he'll head to the free throw line.
And what a move by Zach Lambert. Saw the double team coming, spanned the opposite way, went under the hoop, and ended up giving a missed shot, but available for Jimmy Clark to clean up and get a foul. And Jimmy Clark at the line right now, one of the hardest workers that you'll see.
And the first free throw is good as Jordan Koromidis checks back in place of Josh Alderman. He'll take a quick breather, but I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Jones puts him back in a couple of minutes. As the second free throw for Clark is up and in.
And Richardson's going to come in now for Wilkins.
So a couple of quick breaths for their start. And now it's Koromidis. And he'll take a difficult fake. Goes. So Koromidis gets off the schneid with that bucket. Saltarelli now. Feeds it to Shotland. Shotland. Very pass there. Away from Kendall Holmes. Not sure if that was a smart move to do so early in the shot clock.
No, not when you have a lead like they do.
Troy Griffith back to Kendall Holmes. Some quick ball from TLU as Koromidis, he'll try a three. That one in and out, rebounded by Saltarelli. Well, I think right now is the time you want to see Levanway in the post, maybe trying to get an easy bucket from 5 or 6 feet away.
I'd say so. He certainly outweighs Vern by a little bit. And he's got good position here.
Lambert though with the elbow jumper. So he's starting to pick up his second half.
Yeah, you definitely like to see Levanway get a couple more touches. It doesn't seem like Trinity posts up their big man quite as much as you'd like to see.
Holmes now has it on the left side. Then takes it in, and he takes an elbow jumper of his own. That's good. So inside of 10 minutes now, it's Trinity 57, TLU 36. And if the Bulldogs want to have a chance at winning this game, they're going to need to get a run started, and they're going to need to get it started quick.
Yeah. Lambert's trying to post up the smaller Richardson, but a foul called.
And it looks like that will be the 7th team foul for TLU. So both teams now in the bonus. And Saltarelli will head to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1.
He's 3 for 3 at this point. Not the guy you wanted to foul.
Substitutions for Trinity as this free throw is no good. Rebounded by TLU as Will, Kitzinger, and Selling all check back in for the Tigers. Cormitis, shot fake drive, pulls up a difficult shot, but he's fouled.
That's what they're going to have to do to get back in this game. Be aggressive, try to get some points with the clock stopped.
Definitely. Plus, if you're a guy like Cormitis who's been struggling from the field, maybe you just want to get a couple of free throws, see that ball go in the hoop.
Yeah, see the hoop get a little bit bigger.
And the first free throw is good for Cormitis. And Will Young will check back in. He took a bit of an extended break.
Yeah, I think that might have resulted from the play of Craig Saltarelli as well as the turnovers that he committed. A little bit of a tussle between Verm and Wilt. Things probably getting a little chippier as we get close to the end of the game.
Will Young now has it, looking to facilitate the offense. As Jimmy Clark is surveying the defense, he finds Matt Selling, and Josh Allen will be called in for a reach-in foul.
Yeah, Selling might have got away with that one right there. Definitely looked like a jump ball situation.
Close, very close. I agree. But Selling will head to the line. See if he can convert on the front end of his 1-and-1. That one is no good. Rebounded by Griffith. Free throw, something Selling struggled with all season long. And Cormitis, some quick passing from TLU. As Richardson now has it. Richardson looking. Kicks it to Cormitis. He shoots a 3 and scores.
Like you said before, it looked like those free throws warmed them up a little bit.
So we'll see if he continues to hold the hot hand for the Bulldogs here with only 8.5 remaining in the game.
TLU trailing 17.
Selling now has it, kicks it out to Kitzinger. He'll take a walk. I'm not sure if this is the right.
By rule, if the shot's in the air, it should be.
Absolutely. Looked like that shot was in the air. Young was taken down, so.
TLU going to bring back Watson Jr., try to get a little spark going. With 8 minutes remaining, they certainly need it.
And with that foul, it's the 10th team foul, so it's the double bonus the rest of the way for Trinity as Young misses the first free throw. Pretty nice crowd here for this opening game of what will be a quadruple header of SCAC conference tournament action.
Yeah, these games usually typically played in Sam's Gym, but currently in Webster. Would you say it gives it a unique feel?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it seems like the court's a little smaller, but as well, just the acoustics in the building. It's kind of just a little more, I don't know, intense feeling.
Yeah. Richardson hits a big 3 right there.
Back-to-back triples now for TLU, and the Bulldogs starting to make a little bit of a run. Clark looking. Gives it to Will Young. He fakes. Now feeds Matt Selling. He'll try a three. That one is no good. Rebounded by Rob Kitzinger.
A big collision between Alderman and Selling. It looked like Selling got the best of that one.
Alderman looking a little shaken out maybe, but had to play there from Selling to come to that pass instead of letting it be intercepted by Josh Alderman.
Definitely. Both went for it, so no foul called there. I'd tell you, running into Matt Selling is probably like running into a brick wall.
Yeah, probably. I try not to run into Matt Selling often, but, you know.
Sometimes it just seems to happen.
I'm sure it's unpleasant when it happens, you know. We have a bit of a mop-up.
As Kitzinger not only leads Trinity in scoring, but also mopping up the floors for them as well.
Now, you said it before, both guys going for that ball on the collision between Alderman and Selling. I like the non-call there with the refs, you know, in this type of game, especially tournament play where if you don't win, it looks like you're not going to make it to the NCAA tournament. You know, just let the guys play.
Yeah, exactly. You know, as a ref in this kind of game, you don't want to be a deciding factor. You want the teams to go for it. And neither of them really having possession. You can't call one or the other.
Exactly. So the first free throw is missed as Trinity now starting to miss their free throws. As the second one from Jonathan Wilt is pure. And TLU looking to pick up the pace. That was Richardson who slipped. It's Cormidas who faked the shot. Set play from Vern as the ball, but he went up strong and finished.
That was quite a helter-skelter play, but it looked like they just wanted more on that possession.
Yeah.
Oh, and a turnover by Will Young. Wow. Foul from that. I think they're going to call that one a flagrant, but it seems like he went for the ball. In order to be a flagrant, there had to be a malicious intent.
Well, there's strong TLU support here, and they are pretty raucous about the fact that they want a flagrant foul. The refs are going to meet, and we'll see the decision here.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I was going to say it's difficult in Webster. There's not a whole lot behind the hoop, so.
No, when you have two players going full speed and someone fouls the other one, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it may look a lot worse than it actually was. But let's see what the refs decide here.
Looks like they're going to go to the monitor, even though we have no monitor, so.
But they're going to try. I think this one could go either way. And it looks like it's going to be a flagrant.
So flagrant foul, I think in college, is 2 free throws and possession. Pretty much works the same way as a technical foul.
Yeah. Tough break for Trinity, but you do slow down the game a little bit, maybe hurt their run.
Well, TLU has cut it to a 14-point deficit. And if Watson Jr. is able to make these 2 free throws,
we could have us a game.
Absolutely. So Watson Jr. looks like he's sporting the Batman socks from here. Interesting choice.
I'd personally go with Superman, but to each his own. Watson hitting the first one.
Second free throw up for Watson Jr. is good.
Big free throws for Watson, especially after missing his first 4, coming back to hit those, giving his team a chance to get back into this game.
Yeah, momentum definitely starting to shift in favor of TLU now. That's Watson Jr. He'll just inbound this one, all the way back to Cormidas. Now Watson Jr. over to Richardson. Now it's Cormidas. He'll try a deep 3, and now.
That's what they say about great shooters. They keep on shooting. He may not have hit his first ones, but he's coming back now.
And just like his land going quickly, no offensive rebound for Trinity. And maybe know that was open, but try and work the shot. Trinity is hot.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to stop the clock, slow down the game, make them feel like they're still behind quite a bit.
So a good strong take there from Matt Hoppert as he's earned himself a couple of free throws. And these are pretty big free throws for the Tigers. First one is good. Second free throw for Matt Hopper is good.
It looks like TLU is trying to push it pretty quickly.
Still 6.5 minutes remaining in the game. It's plenty of time now that they've cut it to about 10, 11 points. But Trinity has to be careful here as TLU is starting to hit it from downtown. Richardson now has it. Gives it to Washington just inside the three-point line. A stutter.
Difficult shot. Great move, though. Dribbled left, step back right, hit it right in his face.
Watson Jr. starting now from the field. It's a 9-point lead for Trinity, 61-52 as we hit the 6-minute mark. So this one is no good. Rebound, and I think Will Young is going to be called.
I think that one might have been on John Wilk, and tough call because he really just put his hand in there, but
I think you're right. That foul is on Jonathan Wilk, so.
And putting him at the line.
Not what you want to do is stop the clock.
No. You know, Lambert's a great shooter, but at this point you probably want to slow it down and use more of that shot clock. Richardson at the line.
The junior guard misses the first free throw attempt. And we're going to get some substitutions as Saltarelli and Levanway come back in. I expect Levanway in there for defensive purposes, most likely.
I was about to say the same thing for some much-needed rebounding. That's the one way you don't want to let a team back in, giving up some offensive rebounds.
Second free throw is good.
So TLU now down 9. Oh,
that pass. But now it's a brief 5-on-4. As Richardson corrects. Levanway sets a screen for Hopper. Finish there.
Fake by Hopper, and Levanway set a solid screen to get him wide open for that layup.
Inside of 5, we've got ourselves a ball in Webster's Gymnasium. As Watson Jr. now gives it to Cormidas. He's just going to take a three. That one no good. And it's rebounded by Zach Lambert. So Cormidas hit his last 3 shots from the field, but no good from that range. Hopper feeds it to Saul. Now Kitzinger, he'll try.
Huge three by Robert Kitzinger. That's got to hurt if you're TLU.
And with that, Jones will call for TLU. So with 4:53 remaining in the game, it's Trinity 66, it's TLU 53. We'll be right back. So we're inside of 5 minutes now as TLU finds themselves down 13. They cut it all the way down to 9 just a minute ago, but a Rod Kitzinger 3 has helped extend the lead to a more comfortable position for the Tigers as Watson Jr. is really starting to pick up his offensive game. He puts in the bucket.
He's just putting TLU on his back at that point. He took on about 3 members of the Trinity defense and still managed to score with a little baby hook shot.
Hopper has it. He thought about the 3 but decided otherwise and just gives it to Saltarelli.
Probably a good decision to pull it out at that point in the shot clock.
Lambert now, he'll take a 2. That one is good. Lambert. And back to a 13-point lead for Trinity. Thomas Verne now hands it off to Garrett Wilkins. Wilkins drives and he's fouled. So we'll stop the clock again here with just over 4 minutes left in the ball game.
Yeah, Wilkins is definitely not having his best game, but as long as he keeps driving the hole and using that speed and quickness to his advantage, he'll be useful out there.
That one is no good for Wilkins. And more missed free throws. Really dooming their chance at a comeback bid.
Yeah, McGee coming in for Verne, probably for some offensive help.
Gary Wilkins. For his second attempt. And that one much better than the first. Inside of 4 minutes here in Webster's Gymnasium, San Antonio, Texas, between the quarterfinal matchup of TLU and Trinity University. Rob Kitzinger has it on the far side. Gives to Saltarelli. Now Zach Lambert. He fakes and dumps it off to Matt Hopper. Before Rob Kitzinger can pick it up. Shot clock. Kitzinger. Is no good. Rebounded by Koromidis. And then a nice heads-up play to find Richardson. Now it's Watson.
Oh, and he had the lane there. He probably could have gone all the way.
Yeah, tried to feed it off to Dante McGee. But as you said, ill-advised move. McGee now going hard. He hits Koromidis and off-balance 3. Good
shot by Koromidis. Fading to his right over the defender. Wow. Definitely a momentum changer for this game. And Watson committing the foul on Lambert.
Yeah, Coach Jones not happy with that call. Nonetheless, Zach Lambert will head to the free throw line.
Lambert, who started off slow, now has 16 points and 3 rebounds and assists to go with it, having a pretty complete game.
First free throw rattles in and out, no good. Both teams really struggling at the charity stripe. Second free throw upcoming for Zach Lambert is good. Inside of 3 minutes here now.
10-point game.
Koromidis, good shot. He'll try another 3. That one's just too strong. Rebound. Lambert, good physical board there.
Yeah, breath of relief for Trinity after that miss.
Lambert now has it. He fakes. He drives right hand, no good. But Jonathan Wilt gets the rebound. He tries a quick fall. No good. Rebounded by Watson Jr. He gives it to Koromidis. We're approaching the 2-minute mark here in the game. TLU needs to get something going quickly.
Yeah, huge possession for them. If they don't get something here, it may be looking bleak.
Koromidis, good fake. He drives. He shoots. He scores. And Koromidis continuing his strong play here in the second half. Saltarelli now has it. He gives it to Hopper. Hopper tried to go off. Rebounded by Lambert. No good. But
Jonathan Wilt.
And that might seal the deal. Well, TLU had played some outstanding defense on that possession, but
Could not overcome the size of Trinity.
Just could not get the board. So Coach Jones is going to take a timeout with 1:35 left. And we'll come right back as soon as this